Well, hi Ian. Thank you for agreeing to have a quick chat with me today about your experience in the Executive Edge Online program. You've now completed that, which is great to hear. But I thought we'd start with if you could perhaps give me a brief background on your on you and your career history, please.
Oh, will do, Simon. First of all, thank you for the program. To start off with my career history, I'm a South African that worked and lived in South Africa. I was in the logistics industry over there. Worked there for more than 5 years. I then had a severe bicycle accident. It changed my career. I was off work for close to 15 months. I had to come back and find and get back into the real, but get back to real life and start working again. And during that time, when I came back to the office, I had the opportunity to go and do my MBA abroad. I decided to go do this in the Netherlands, where I'm currently still based. I did my full-time MBA, completed the course, and then that was at the start of the financial crisis back in 2008, September 2008 for that matter. And during that time, jobs were very scarce, like most of you would know. And the day before I left, I had the opportunity to go for an interview at one of the commodity trading companies here in the Netherlands. Seeing that I worked in a worked at a logistics company, I decided, well, what better way to go and build on my expertise by moving into freight risk management. I received an opportunity to come back to the Netherlands and work for the company in December 2008, and since then I've been prodding along. I've moved a company in the meantime. I've shifted across to Glencore, moved into chartering, looked after vessel operations, and then during this time, compliance became a hot subject, and I was identified as an individual within the company to take things forward from a compliance side, looking at the agricultural commodities of Glencore, and that's what I've been doing for nearly the last 7 years.
Okay.
And yes, that's where I'm at now. During this time, I made a conscious decision that I need to move up.
Okay.
I felt that I was moving sideways, and having attempted and tried my own methodology, which I can say here honestly failed. I found you and started with your program, and since then I had a plan in place, and I'm where I am now.
And what was the main challenge then? Do you think that there was a reason you got in touch with me, that you signed up for the Executive Edge program? What was the main challenge, the principal challenge you were facing with your job search and your career advancement?
I needed a different approach. I needed a plan which I could follow, something which I could look at on a daily basis, something which I can put down my progress. And having read through your material that was available, I made the decision, well, right, I think I found something, and started with the program.
Okay. And how would you describe your journey through Executive Edge? How was the journey? How was the process?
It's been a massive, the learning curve has been incredible. Well, it's been a massive learning curve. From day one, you started off with a plan, and I worked through this process. And if you, each day when you think back and you reflect as to what you've done on that day, you realize bit by bit you're moving forwards. It might not be it might not be clear at that stage, but the fact that you have a destination statement in place kept you motivated, and kept me going.
Okay. What would you describe as being the most important part of the process for you, and why?
Discipline.
Hmm.
I think discipline is something, from a personal perspective, um, uh, it was lacking in my approach that I had, and the fact that you now needed to write down what you've actually done today, reflect on it, put in some comments, and followed a plan, just made it fitted me like a glove, the proverbial glove, for that
Okay.
matter.
Okay, great to hear. And quite a lot of people come onto the Executive Edge program having tried the more traditional executive job boards or executive search firms, recruiters. Had you got previous experience of trying different executive job search solutions, things you'd come across in the past, and how did that compare to what you learnt and did on the program?
I think the question is, what have you not tried? And
Okay.
yes, executive job boards, recruitment firms. Yes, I've tried. I've gone down that route. It's been a process where you, at some point, you lose interest in contacting the recruiter. You feel like you're becoming a burden to them. They're not because they're not contacting you. You then contacting them, and it's a yes. It wasn't a good process to be involved in. The fact that you now had something different, and you were reliant on them, that was the main thing. You weren't in control as to what was being done. It was you simply followed up and heard what they were saying. That is, if you got hold of them. In many cases, it's an absolute nightmare to get hold of the consultant or at the recruitment firm, as they are busy with other things. And when you call, they simply don't call back. And if you call and people answer and they tell you, well, he's on a call, he's in a meeting. Who are you? Why are you calling? And you simply say, well, you're following up on previous communication. They lose interest in you. And to me, that just put it to bed that I had to find a different solution to find the executive job that I'm after. And that is something I think, well, I still believe that your program has provided me with.
And what do you think makes Career Codex's Executive Edge program different from the more traditional routes?
It's up to you. It's about personal responsibility. And to me, that's the ball is in your hands.
Yeah.
What you do with it is up to you. As simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you've been through the program. One of the things that you know that I emphasize is defining the destination where you want to go and then taking proactive control to get there. Rather than being reactive, as you mentioned, you are to a certain extent if you're in the hands of third parties, job boards or recruiters. So what's been the outcome? Where are you now, and what's next? What's next for you?
Well, I had a bit of a change in plan. I started off with my destination statement to be in Australia. That has since disappeared after I've gone through the entire process. This is due to legislation done in Australia, and actually getting into Australia is a massive problem. If the company or Glencore that I work for could not send me down, then there was no other option to get into Australia. Since then, there's been a change where my wife and I decided, not my wife and I decided, she actually found a job in the UK. Right. So that was pleasing and for me to hear, and that put fire under my belly to get up and actually go and find something in the UK. And hopefully something can be found. It would be ideal to move across with the company that I work for as a start, and continue with the executive job and when I'm in the UK.
Okay, good. And for anyone watching, final question. For anyone watching this video, perhaps struggling with their executive job search, perhaps been in a similar situation to you, having tried other things, and thinking about joining Executive Edge, what would you say to them?
Do it.
That's nice and succinct. Okay.
There's no harm to try. Do it. I can't say that more. I can't emphasize that more enough. Emphasize it more.
Okay. Thank you, Ian. It's been a pleasure to have you in the program. It's great to see you coming across to the UK. I wish you every success for the future, and thank you for spending some time with me today to record this video.
You're welcome, Simon. Thank you.